And I am excited today because, as you know, my mission is to bring people on who are now going back to help our veterans because it's very important to me. I think if you'll read my book, you'll find out that my husband wasn't treated fairly in the Steel of Life. He made a pledge. He made a pledge of his life, which he lost, not to the enemy, but by his own government to whom he loved and served. And I don't want that to happen again. Meanwhile, we have all these veterans that need help. And post-traumatic stress disorder is something that's very common amongst our veterans. And I'd like to shine a light on it and find people who are helping the vets. And I have with me, and I'm so honored to have you, Susan. I have Susan LaFlamme. I said that almost.
Sandra LaFlamme.
Sandra LaFlamme. Okay. Oh, you want to do it over again? No. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, I'm so honored because not only is she working with our vets, she's working with dogs. And there is such a symbiotic relationship between animals and people. And the dogs are helping our veterans. So I'm going to ask you first, how did you get started with this?
My husband found that the puppy that we got when we first got married changed a lot of his environment for him and changed his mindset when he was having a severe post-traumatic stress disorder. His severity, he'll say, is not like somebody who's at a tipping point where we want to educate people as far as suicide prevention. There are tipping points that you can listen to and talk to. We're involved with delivering the highly trained service dog because being business people, we can afford to handpick and the dog and the trainer. And we had so much success, but we saw that not very many people had access to these resources. And we want to give back in a way that it's rewarded us. So in 2016, my husband founded the National PTSD Service Association. Lieutenant Colonel Mark LaFlamme, retired United States Air Force, Distinguished Flying Cross. He has 300 hours of combat under his belt. So he was personally affected by friends of his who did commit suicide, and he wants to make a difference in the world the same way you are.
And you said that your daughter's also doing work with this. You want to tell us a little bit about your daughter and her work?
My husband has 2 children from his previous marriage, but no, we have a great amount of volunteer effort right now, and that moving forward as we expand, our goal is to have 100 dogs for 100 veterans in the Sarasota area within the next 12 months.
Yeah, so you're not only doing this on a national, but you're right in my hometown, right in Sarasota. And I was thrilled to find that out, that you're so local. And where exactly are you located?
Our home office, and I'm talking to you from the home office, is right here in Arlington Park, near the Arlington Park Aquatic Center. Great park space, great opportunity for meet and greets amongst ourselves. And because we live in the area, and I've been here over 20 years serving the community, we also have our handpicked top trainers in the area who travel in and out, and a top training facility that she's been around for over 40 years. And she's out on I-70 or right out there near Mayaca City, and has a 40-acre facility so that it gives our veterans and their dogs a chance to train at a top level and then practice with their dogs in Mayaca City, away from the fray of if they live closer to a different environment. At least they have a step-up point to practice with their dog, a well-trained dog, and be around a group of people that know what they're doing and have been doing so for over 40 years.
And what's your success rate, do you feel? At what? 100%. Whoa, we like 100%. We like that.
Our friends in our community who like to advocate on behalf of, it's not a pill. It is prescribed by a doctor, but it is a furry ball of fun that it then becomes about that healing process, but it's 100% shown throughout all the other dog training facilities like ours. 100% of the PTSD is ameliorated, gone,
Wow.
vanished. And the few opportunities where we have a family that will come on video, because we don't like to parade them out like they're a circus act, and they're not. This is their privacy, this is their life. They will say that it changed their family, and many recipients have become even more encouraged that they can volunteer where they volunteer, want to volunteer, more socially interactive with all the things they want to social interact with. And we have people still in their career field that enables them to get past those stressor points like Allie does for my husband. If there's something going on, she can sense it, she can smell it, and she knows to lay on him. All our recipients tell us, what is it that you want your dog to do for you when you have an event? Sometimes they want the dog to completely lay on them. Sometimes they want to nudge. You mentioned seizures. Your husband had them. Dogs can sense when somebody has something coming on. So if there's also a medical purpose that needs to be fulfilled, out at EuroPro K9 near Mayaca City, we bring that into the process, and we're 100% successful.
This is marvelous to hear, because I do feel there's a connection. Now, you said you have dogs there. Can we see one?
Yes, I'll try to move the camera so you can see them.
Okay.
A normal service dog, if it's somebody, we have them where they work for the hospital, or they
Hello, puppies. Wake up, wake up.
They work for the county. And during that period of time when, and I show lots of action videos because they have a lot of energy, they're keeping up with an energetic person that served in the military or is a first responder. So these dogs know I'm talking in meeting right now. I gave them the understanding before I went on camera. I used a term that told them just to relax in place. And that'll be like somebody who's still working. They need that dog to relax in place. Or if you're out working, if you're a veteran or a first responder, and you don't want to, you're not working anymore, but you want to go work in the garage on your woodworking. Now, we don't want that big noise around the dog, but if you want the dog out there in the garage, like my husband when he likes to work in the garage, the dog's sitting right there with him while he's working. And it could be hours before he has realized, okay, I've accomplished what I want, but everyone needs their own sport, their relaxation, and that dog is going to be there with them. If it's somebody who's an athlete and they want to go kayaking or canoeing, that dog gets in the kayak with them. That dog gets in the canoe with them.
Now, how about restaurants and public places? Are they licensed to go with the veteran to these?
Well, the nice thing about what you just mentioned, it's based on a disability. PTSD is a disability. So the same criteria for somebody with a seeing eye dog, would they go into a restaurant? Yeah, if they want to. And if that is fun for that person with their seeing eye dog, the dog is trained and more than equipped and able to go everywhere they want to go. So if our veteran wants to go into a restaurant, of course, it gives us a chance out in Mayaca City to practice that, because not everyone is aware of Americans with disability. And because there are quite a bit of fakers out there that have service dogs, and the dog really isn't a service dog. It's under people's feet, it's in the way, it's barking, it's lunging. That's visually easy for everyone to understand that it's not a service dog. You wouldn't expect that from somebody with a seeing eye dog. These dogs will be under the table, out of the way. And if that's what that veteran wants to do, have we had restaurants in the area refuse service? Yes, they were not educated. And that is, thank you for bringing it up, an education process. And so many companies like Costco and Walmart who handle large crowds of people, it is so difficult for that person up front, if not properly trained, to make a determination that's obviously a service dog, because a vest does not make it a service dog. The behavior of the dog makes it a service dog, and the veteran, his disability or her disability is not a big flag to wave around. If they were in a wheelchair or they couldn't see, it'd be very easy. Oh, that person's handicapped in a wheelchair or they're blind. It's real obvious what the dog is doing for them. So the appropriate way for a veteran or first responder with PTSD to respond is, the dog keeps me calm.
So, and about how many dogs have you placed?
Not enough. We would have liked to have done 100 this year, but with everything that's going on with COVID, we are continuing with our outreach to find that veteran or first responder who needs a dog. Of course, all of the places that they go for counseling at the VA, they're just so shut down and overrun with what's going on with the process of managing COVID, that the practitioners that would have normally given us a referral, and it comes by referral from a practitioner, it is a disability. We're not going to, we're not going to work. We're not going to do anything with fakers. We're not even going to comment on that. Go about and enjoy having your wonderful dog, because they're going to help you. But for our top level of training and our top level of support and what we want to deliver, it's about $7,500 to train one of these dogs. And many of the German Shepherd rescues in the area will match up well with a veteran or first responder. Now it's just a matter of funds. And as those conduits open up and they are more fluid with the referrals for us, it's now kind of on the shoulder of that veteran or first responder to find us. So thank you for allowing us a relationship with you so that more veterans and first responders can find us. And they probably already have their PTSD certificate.
Yeah. Not all of them, but there may be some. What I'd like to do, and you can announce it now, is to post your webpage and contact information if you'd like to give it to our veterans verbally, and then I'll add it to our interview today, if that's okay with you. I'd like to promote you and make sure that everybody knows about you, especially people in my area, because I think what you're doing is fantastic, and I'm very impressed, very impressed. So if you'd like to give us your information, and then I'll post it, give it verbally, and we'll have it there on the side for your write-up for everyone.
Thank you, Joanne. I am Sandra LaFlamme with the National PTSD Service Association. That's N as in Nancy, PTSD.org. My email is ptsd.assistance@gmail.com. We do have an application online. You can click on apply on the front page and it'll take you directly to the application, which is per the PAWS bill. 2019 set a standard for the VA of what a service dog should be.
And they can get help with just by contacting you and probably making the doctor aware, so it's much easier for them to get the necessary paperwork to be allowed to do that. Because a lot of doctors, I don't think, are aware, and we have to educate them and make them very aware.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to add to this?
Thank you for your time. I don't think this is the first time we're going to speak. As you get response.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I'd love to get down, and this was kind of a quick arrangement here, and I'm thrilled that you could do it so quickly. But I'd love to come down and see you working with the vets at some time. And I would love to do another interview with you and continue this, because this seems to be an issue that goes across the board, all of our veterans.
Yes.
No matter which war they were fighting in, the war comes home with them.
Right.
And I know that even though my husband was on a ship, to a certain extent, I knew not to go up and surprise him from behind.
Right.
It was mild, but I've been around people. I had a handyman who said, I can work for you, but don't ever come up behind me. And it's a real problem. It kept him from having an effective job.
Right.
We don't want that to happen. I want every vet happy, employed, and out there. That's my goal.
Yes.
I want them taken care of. They have been ignored too much.
Yes.
And that's my mission. So,
That's a good mission. I'm there with you. Thank you so much.
and I'm going to say thank you so much for coming on, Sandra. And we're going to close our interview. And folks, I will have other interviews with Sandra and people similar, and I hope you'll tune in. I am so excited to do this. It's become my mission. I can't save my husband. I can't bring him back. But in honor of my husband,
Yes.
I love you, bud. I do this for you.
Yes.
So Sandra, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Big
Thank you.
hug, big kiss, and we're going to say goodbye.